Hey, so I'm making one of these on Monday finally. Woohoo! Yep, Kamen Rider Zeztz episode 5. It aired Saturday, and let's talk about it. And don't forget, the official release is linked down below. That goes for all the videos. So, yeah. So this continues off from last week's episode 4, where Kamen Rider Zeztz is supposed to be protecting the VIP bride. So we get a nice little recap. We get to we basically get the little explanation that, oh yeah, the bride was a dreamer, and yeah, that's it. The one really neat little detail is back in episode 4. I think when they did this whole little protect the VIP bride thing, the church was flipped right side up, and now that everything's been flipped on its head, it's upside down. Just a neat little visual thing. So Baku temporarily gets the nightmare away. He doesn't kill it yet because, we need a full episode. But he does manage to shoo it off. And he saves the bride just like, wow, I got this wrong. So yeah, once again, because this is after the little prologue arc, we do have the intro here. I didn't take any more screen grabs from it. But hey, I was slightly validated last week, which made me nice from last week, yeah. So this episode entitled Crash was entitled Crash. I completely forgot the name of the episode up until, just now. So, yeah. But Baku and them talk to the bride just why would you be dreaming for this? What is going on in your head, right? And Baku's just subconsciously you're thinking to yourself, oh, this is something I am fearing. And this causes the background to change, and even though Baku doesn't immediately recognize it, pretty much everybody can tell this is the little playground tree area from last episode where he and his sister were on their little exercise routine, and they caught the guy that they thought was the dreamer, the childhood best friend. And when Baku wakes up from the dream, his window's mysteriously opened, and then goes through his closet and realizes everything's all messed up. That's because the detectives from the paranormal investigation bureau, or whatever they're called, broke into his house. Which is just really funny to me. And then later in the episode, they literally jump out of his window. They come in during the night and he's whisper, we're coming in. To not disturb him. So, yeah, Baku kind of has a little moment with Zero, hey, what do I do exactly? Because there are cops in here. And Zero confesses to him, hey, bro, just come clean. So Baku does. He's just hey, I'm a secret agent, guys. And shockingly, they go along with it. I'll get to that other side in a second. I apparently missed a screenshot in here. But yeah, Baku's just I'm a secret agent. And both cops are okay, you're not exactly what we imagined from the secret agent type, but I guess that's the point. Baku and his sister share breakfast, which is nice. Mind you, the cops are still in the closet. That's a weird phrase. Yeah, the cops are still in the little secret agent room. And I thought it was really... This was in the previews for last week. I'm just This feels like foreshadowing, right? She's either going to become a rider, do something important, something's going to happen that she got on this bike. I mean, she didn't ride in the episode, but it just made me think, there's something here. And they accidentally also uncover the little family tree map that Baku made. Anyways, Baku shows off this little picture and is hey, where was this again? I just want to point out, we never saw this until now. It's a cat capsule. I wonder what it does. It's black, so it doesn't fit in with any of the current forms. Who knows? I think it's fun. It's a cat-themed capsule. I like that. Jeez, that was a terrible stutter. Anyways, so we see in the real world, the groom talked to the bride just hey, After we get married, we're going to New York. I got a couple friends there. They want to celebrate with me. But we catch up with Baku, who also manages to find the bride at the tree. Yeah, and she does have a hint of recognition for him from the dream. But Baku's just like, it's fine, you don't really recognize me. But he asks, hey, does this tree hold, like, an important memory to you? Like, what is it about? Because he's trying to get down to it. Why would her subconscious show the tree when confronted with her nightmare? She's just like, yeah, I suppose it does hold a bad memory for me. It forever changed her life in a way. And so that kind of sets up what her true nightmare is actually about. Back over in the secret lair, the cops start setting up. They really make themselves at home. And the cops do some investigation into the bride, the groom, and the childhood best friend, where we learn that as a child, the bride fell from a tree and ended up nearly in a critical condition. However, her childhood friend, who at the time was just some random kid, actually saved her life, which is why they ended up becoming friends. And so he puts... I guess I missed the screenshot. Baku puts it together that she is afraid of heights. When she was younger, she had this trauma related to falling. Now she's fearful of heights. And if they're going to New York, how do you get to Japan from New York? We'll get to that later. And though Baku has doubts to himself, the cops see him as a secret agent and have no reason to doubt him. At least the dude does. The girl still doubts him. But Baku's just like, I have these fears, but that's it. I'm going to put them aside because, I'm this secret agent and I'm going to save her. Which is nice. It's cool that even now he's still having doubts, but is willing to put them aside to help others. And that's definitely going to become something later on when he stops doubting himself, and he just does. So he wakes back up in the dream world, where Nim tells him, oh, hey, they're already off on the honeymoon. So he goes to the subconscious door, which is right next to the tree, to try and find out what exactly the next nightmare will be. And, yep, plane crash. Woohoo! Yeah, here it is. This is where he puts two and two together fully and is like, oh, she's afraid of heights. And so he and Zero come to the realization a plane crash will be occurring. I realize I just did the whole thing out of order, but hey, who cares? Rest of the episode. So we get some nice bike action, which I love. I can't understate that enough. Like, the past couple Kamen Rider shows, I know Gab had like one scene where he used the bike and that was it. I didn't watch Gotchard, so whoop de doo. Geets used the bike a little bit. It was like in 4 episodes. Revice didn't have a bike. I mean, he technically did, but he only used it like one time. And then we never saw it again. Saber used the bikes like once. 0-1, other than Zeztz potentially, so far has been the one to use his bike the absolute most. He used it like 5 times and the movie. So, yeah. Meanwhile, in real life, the bride is suffering from her nightmare, starting to panic because she's getting on a plane. But Baku here is just like, it's my mission to protect the bride. What's really cool is that we get some nice little confirmation that you can use the extra capsules like Wing and Transform directly. Like, you don't have to go into Impact or any of the other forms to use them. You can just transform and it'll give you the corresponding form. So here, because he used Wing and Wing is attached to Impact, he gets the Impact base suit with the Wing add-on. And once again, just some great shots. Like, this episode was really well done from the cinematography angle. So he fights the little bird dude. They take to the skies. And as he lands on top of the plane, it is time for our first full form swap. I'll get to why I hate this in a moment. But, hey, he transforms into Kamen Rider Zeztz Technolam Stream. I believe that's how it's pronounced. Yeah, I forgot to mention that every Zeztz form has like two names, right? So Impact is actually its full name is like Fizzcam Impact, and then Wing is like Fizzcam Wing or something like that. I forgot to mention that. It's just escaped my mind up until this point. But yeah, I like the form. It's a great form. I hate how he got it though. I'll get to that in my opinions, but this form is completely busted because it has the ability to control wind currents. That is like super overpowered, and I'm sure he's not going to use it a lot. He also, in this episode, finally transforms the sword into something else. He turns it into a gun. So, yeah. Honestly, I thought they were going to wait to do the gun until next episode, but hey, you know what? I ain't complaining. Once again, just great action, like, genuinely. Yeah, and he finishes off the monster. Hey, here's a back shot of Zeztz. That sounded better in my head. Anyways, once again, just fantastic cinematography. Genuinely one of the most... This is just a really well done shot. Like, this might be the thumbnail because I like it that much. And similar to, like, monsters from Super Sentai, this little butterfly comes in and absorbs the flowers and nightmare energy from the now destroyed little bird Nightmare. I'm sure these guys have names. I'm not going to bother to learn it. And Zeztz successfully completes his mission. And Baku wakes up and is just like, yeah, I did it. I'm that guy. And we catch up with the bride and the groom in real life, where she thanks him for changing the honeymoon plans. And he's like, yeah, I'm not going to torture my wife after she had a terrible nightmare. Like, that'd be messed up. And the female cop takes a moment to rub it in that the dude cop got it wrong, because he's like, oh, she doesn't want the wedding to go on because she still secretly harbors feelings for the childhood friend. Which, speak of here, the childhood friend, he's like, are you just going to give up on your love like that, dude? It's like, I don't care. As long as the bride is happy, that's all that matters to me. And then he freaks out because he has no idea who the hell this man is. I just thought this was a really funny screen grab, so I had to put it in here. And the episode ends with Baku wishing her to have good dreams from here on out, which is really sweet. That was a nice way to end the episode. But it's not over yet because we didn't see the main villain, and we're still in the early episode, so we gotta build out some lore. So this, he labeled like 3 things. I think it's like, it's civilization, body, mind, and like physics or something like that. I have no idea. I forgot what it was already. This is just theory fodder for me. This is like making me think, right? The 4 colors are the 4 colors of Zetz's forms. Zeztz definitely has something to do with this book. Like, there's something here with this and the 4 main Zeztz forms. I'm not the film theorist, right? I can't put this together, but there's something going on. And then we get a crazy reveal that Nim is somehow tied to the nightmares and to the main villain, which would make a lot of sense as to why she's always here and is seemingly a lucid dreamer. There's something with her. And next week looks like it's going to be taking that, as next week's mission is escape with all the prisoners, which is where I feel validated, because last week I pointed out in the intro for episode 4 that one of the things that flew by was escape with all the prisoners. So I was like, hey, I caught that last week, and it's here now. Yay, me. We also will be getting the first of the additional armament for Kamen Rider Zeztz Technolam Stream, which is awesome. It's nice. Actually, I think we're getting 2, because here he has this little pincer, and later in the next week preview, he has like this shoulder cape. They either are 2 separate things or they're one and the same. I don't know. It's kind of hard keeping up with Zezt's forms because he has like the 4 main colored forms, and then each of those 4 main colored forms have 4 smaller like armament forms, so it's really difficult to keep track of them all. But yep, there is an inescapable prison of death. Obviously, Zeztz is going to try and escape it. This is one that definitely feels more deserving of a two-parter than just protecting the bride, but hey, go ahead, why not? And like I said, we're getting something about Nim's past, finding out why the head nightmare dude knows who Nim is and talks like he knows her. This was just really cool. And of course, because it's a prison, episode 6 is entitled In Prison. How basic. And, yeah. So my thoughts and opinions on this episode. I liked it. It was kind of dense, but hey, to be fair, the last episode was, like, really slow. So in comparison, I like this episode a lot more. But that's a matter of semantics. Overall, though, I'd say this was a really good two-parter. And yeah, I have no complaints. Great action, great pacing so far, and I'm liking some of the story beats that are happening here. However, I mentioned earlier I hated one particular thing. I hate the fact that Zetz's first true main form swap comes out of a vending machine. I hate that. I much prefer it when my Kamen Riders earn their new forms, right? Yeah, sure, to an extent, shows like 01 and Geets, they just kind of stumbled into it. They didn't really earn it. It's been so long since I've seen 01, so forgive me if a couple of these details are wrong, but I'm pretty sure they just made new progress keys. But that's a lot more effort in than just turning a crank. Geets, sure, you got a random form to begin with, but every time someone got boost early on in the series, it actually meant something. It felt earned, and I like that. I hate this. I can't understate how much I hate the fact that this was just out of a machine. It irritates me, but hopefully it's only these 4 forms that come out of the vending machine. I really hope his first upgrade that we're maybe going to see towards episode 15 or something, maybe episode 20, his version of Shining Hopper, the Fever forms, or going last year Gabu, it would be his version of Caking, right? I hope, I pray that does not come out of a machine and that he actually does something to earn it. But that's one tiny blemish, right? Everything else, other than how he gets the form, was great. Lots of theory fodder in this new episode, which was kind of shocking. The last couple episodes were you got the standard questions, right? Where do these monsters come from? Where does the Zeztz gear come from? That is just very bare minimum, just oh yeah, this is we're early on the show, this is why we have these questions. Here it actually gives us legit theory fodder here, and I cannot wait to see exactly how Nim ties into the nightmares, how Zetz's 4 forms ties into the villain's book, and can't wait to watch next week's episode, because Zeztz has been really good so far. Almost every episode has been ranging from an 8 out of 10 to a 10 out of 10, and even though I didn't really enjoy episode 4, that's a 6 out of 10. That's not terrible. That's above average. So, yeah, don't forget, all previous episodes are available to be fully watched here legally on YouTube, which is so nice. And please go support the official release. The link to episode 5 down in the description. Yeah, I've got nothing else to say other than subscribe, standard YouTube stuff. Let me know what you thought down below. Did you enjoy this episode? Did you maybe not enjoy it as much as I did? And yeah, I'll see y'all next week when we cover Kamen Rider Zeztz episode 6, In Prison.